Good morning, everybody. Day 10. Where
And we're
has
back
time gone?
the last couple days.
The last couple days. We're here for episode 33. And again, as a reminder, we will be here live, Mecum in the morning today, tomorrow, and Saturday. So we have lots of great things to bring you over the course of the next couple days.
We really do. And so much has happened over the past couple of days, Breon. We had a little bit of a break from Mecum in the morning, but the Mecum auction has not taken a break.
I think it's full throttle.
full throttle. Yeah. I love it.
Rootin' and tootin', Matt.
Rootin' and tootin', as is quickly becoming our catchphrase of the show. But welcome indeed to Mecum in the morning. Here we are Thursday here at the Osceola Heritage Park, gearing up for an exciting day. We've got 400 vehicles crossing the auction block. That contains 12 collections, and there's 52 pieces of road art. So much to see and do here. We've got the Adventure Zone.
It's been jam-packed over there, Matt.
It's been jam-packed with all kinds of... I love how serious some of the kids are with the painting.
Yeah.
I love watching that. That's fantastic.
You know, my favorite thing is that we have a parade for the Power Wheels every day at 11:45, and the MC, who's on stage when you're not on there, has decided to kind of kick it up a notch. So he goes over to the kids, he gets their information, what's their name, what do they want to be when they grow up, maybe a funny quote, and it's the cutest and funniest thing you've ever seen. One kid said, "My name's Bo, I'm 7, and I want to be a radiologist."
Wow.
Yeah, and they're just cruising. I think I sent Laura on our team a link to order more because we've actually had lines for people wanting to participate. And exciting news we can share with you is that the Adventure Zone will be at some other upcoming auctions. The first one on the schedule will be Glendale. So I'm excited to bring back the Adventure Zone and give something for everyone in the family, something to do.
Are we going to be getting bigger cars that might fit like a co-host of a morning show?
So interesting enough, yes. You have no idea what's in store for you, but yesterday through some extensive research, I did find what they call big kids battery-powered cars where a parent and a child or a co-host and a child can sit and cruise in it. And actually, it's a really cool, I think it's like a 1940 Mercedes-Benz.
Nice.
So I'm really excited to see you cruising with the kiddos.
Oh man, I had no idea that was in store.
Guess what? You never do, Matt.
Never do.
No.
But something else that is got a full lineup today, Breon, is my Midway Stage Conversations. You know, that's been such a big hit here in the afternoons, up there on the Midway Stage. A full lineup today of conversations with some very unique, about some very unique vehicles with some great consigners. And we're going to be continuing that through the weekend. So for folks who are coming out to the auction, stop by, grab some lunch. It's right by the food court, and just sit down and listen in because there's been some awesome discussions.
Who do you have on the lineup today?
So today we're talking about a 1970 Cuda, which 200 car with great provenance. And then also I've got Riley's rebuilds with a very special 1957 Nomad. And then also we're checking in with the folks from Dodge and Radford. So there's a full lineup.
I can't wait. Honestly, like I really enjoyed your conversation with Malcolm Bricklin. You guys had the crowd laughing. You had them intrigued what Malcolm was going to say next. It was just really cool to watch. So I'm excited to have the Midway Stage there and you waxing poetic with some really cool people.
We also want to make a mention of our merch because we've got some very cool merch on site.
I do have to say, though, let's mention merch, but some items are selling out and we're having to restock them. So if you plan on coming, make sure that's one of the first things you do, especially our event tees and our two tees that pay homage to the Porsche 917K. They are a hot commodity. I know we also had to restock our black M Block hoodie. That's sold out completely, and they just got a new order in yesterday. So make sure that's one of your first stops. I'm also excited about our event poster, famous artists, generally known for working with the McQueen family throughout the past 10, 15 years. Nicholas Hunzinger, he designed a really cool event poster. We also commissioned a piece from him that's on display at the Boys Republic booth. We will auction that off. The proceeds will go to the Boys Republic. It's a beautiful 40 by 60 acrylic canvas painting. So stop on over and buy merch and check out the painting.
And 2 locations for merch on site. One in the Midway, and then one kind of by the thrill ride.
Well, we have 3.
Oh,
so,
3.
Yeah, so one at entrance A, and then we have like a trailer, and then we have one right when you walk into the auction block. So tons of opportunity to get your Mecum gear.
Let's shift gears beyond for a little bit of a somber update in our show about a dear friend of us as well as the Mecum organization. Earlier this week, John Kraman passed away after a really brief battle with an illness, and really caught us all off guard. He was such an integral part of what we do here.
And I know he was, you guys were really close. You had the On the Move podcast together, and he was really one that kind of brought you into the fold. So
yeah, John and I were good friends. We spent a lot of time together. And before I detail some of my memories of John, our producer of the morning show, Alyssa, found an excellent piece that was produced a couple years ago about John and his role in his hometown, or the town where he lived, of Rockford. And it's from Our City, Our Story. John Kraman. Here, take a watch.
Since I was a little kid, 2 years old, cars have been a very important part of my life. In fact, they were really my first love. Well, I live in Rockford, Illinois. The very first Mecum auction was at the Greater Rockford Airport in 1988, and it gave our company founder, Dana Mecum, that thought that this is something that I could expand on. Whether or not he thought that it would grow within a 30-year time span to be the world's largest collector car auction company, handling over 15,000 consignments annually, that's kind of hard to say. World's biggest collector car auction is held annually in Kissimmee, Florida, just outside of Orlando, in January, and it happens to be a Mecum auction. We actually sold $98 million worth of collector cars. That's over 2,000 cars over a 10-day time period. You know, I was that guy that for years prior to being involved in the car auction business that would watch the car auction television shows as the armchair quarterback and point out all the things that the commentators were saying wrong, never thinking in a million years that not only would I work for a collector car auction company, but that I would be on a television show.
As we welcome you to our continuing coverage of Mecum Kissimmee 2018, it's Scott Hope with John Kraman.
Over the next couple of hours, these are going to be some of the nicest American performers. We're doing over 200 hours a year on NBCSN. Very proud to say we have a hit television show. You know, what I think about from time to time is just how lucky everything lined up to the point where I was able to use my level of aptitude, my level of enthusiasm to suit the company's needs perfectly. And I think every once in a while about really, we're both getting benefit from it, but probably more me, because the amount of satisfaction that I derive out of being a part of something big and a contributor to that, I take that very seriously. And during my long drives up to our offices up here in Walworth, Wisconsin, it gives me a lot of time to reflect back on that. I eat, live, and breathe cars at home as much as I do here at work, as much as I do on the television show. So it's not a role I'm playing, it's not really a job, it's just part of who I am.
That was such a well-done piece, Brian, and we're so thankful for the filmmaker, Pablo Corona, of Our City, Our Story. He gave us permission to show that. As we were working with Alyssa to put together a fitting tribute, I think we just realized that told the story so well about who he was and what he represented. And a quick note from Pablo, who wrote us, he just said, as a Rockford resident, I was proud of everything John accomplished, and I was honored that he allowed us to tell his story, the story of that car guy. His success elevated not only the Our City, Our Story series, but the entire city of Rockford. I'm grateful to have called him a friend.
Very touching tribute to him. It was my first day in the office, and Sam says, well, you get someone's old office. This was back 11 months ago, and he's like, John Kraman gave up his office for you and moved himself somewhere in the building. So I'm going to have to make a little plaque in my office for JK.
You mentioned before that piece, Brian, that John and I worked closely together, and we really did. And I was thinking about on the drive in this morning about how the efforts that John and I put together really paved the way for what we're even doing here. A little bit of backstory is that John and I were tasked with launching the On the Move podcast. It was a way for us to expand our digital storytelling outside of existing.
And it happened during the pandemic.
It happened during the pandemic, and it was a way for us as a brand to stay connected to our audience as we were, evaluating those years. And so John and I were getting together, and we produced over 100 podcasts. So we got together pretty regularly, but in a lot of ways, like I said, that really opened the door for additional efforts like we're doing here with the morning show. And then the On the Move has expanded to now include a YouTube series that I'm hosting called On the Move with Matt Avery. So, but man, just so many memories of John. You can see some there on the screen about just how he and I would preview collections. And one of our favorite things, Brianne, was we both shared a love of brunch.
Oh, brunchers.
We were brunchers.
I love a good brunch.
I don't have any photos from that, but we had a lot of very meaningful conversations over brunch. And he had such a big heart, Brianne. He loved sharing his knowledge and passion. I know that a lot of people spoke about that, but just speaking to that, I remember one of his latest vehicle acquisitions was he bought a Elkhart Lake blue Corvette C8, brand new. And I remember the first time that he showed it to me, his first comment was, he goes, "Here's the keys, get behind the wheel. I want you to drive. I want you to experience it." He had such a big heart. He wanted to share.
Very generous.
Very generous. I'll miss him. I'll miss him. He was a friend, a mentor, and he really meant a lot to me and my family and the automotive community.
You know what? Another story that I have about John, I don't have the years that you had, is he came into my office about 4 or 5 months ago, and he's like, "Bree, we got to get talking more." He's like, "I got to share my calendar with you, and what I have in my sleeve to make sure, if you need me, you know where I'm at." So I thought he was just going to pull up a laptop or a phone and start like going through the calendar. He pulled out a wall calendar that he carries around with him and writes all of his travel and all of his notes on it. It's just a big wall calendar, and I love that. That's how he communicated his schedule with everybody. It was really hard to get him in an email, but if you wanted to go by his office or call him on the phone, he'd bring on his wall calendar over and discuss what's coming up next. Yeah.
He was old school in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Another memory, Brianne, that I have is John and I spent a couple days in Southern California a couple years ago, and John spent some time there as growing up as a boy. So LA, Southern car culture, Southern California car culture, music, design meant a lot to him and his wife Christine. And I kind of did a tour of LA with John. He took me to a lot of his favorite hangouts and locations that had been in famous movies and TV shows. And he was so excited when we stopped by the Brady Bunch house.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember taking a picture of him in front of it. I know that meant a lot to him. And he loved neon signs. And he just, he wanted to impart, I think, to me about the articulating about why these cars and how they bring us together. And I think that's one of the things, Brianne, that he impacted my career as a journalist and storyteller and personality, is to be clear and passionate about what you're talking about. And that's something that I'm definitely going to continue as I move forward with my career. Thanks
for that, Matt. One thing, our founder, Dana Mecum, made an address the other day, and one thing he mentioned is that, it's not just about the blood, your blood family, it's about the family of people you work with. And John really was a bond, and he's been family to the Mecums and to everyone else for a couple of years. And on that, we decided to share, because we're having a heartfelt sharing kind of family moment today. We wanted to share the last 4 minutes of the Heart of Kissimmee piece. Check it out.
Over 800 semis will be bringing vehicles into the auction, and Mecum Auto Transport's responsible for over 250 of those trucks. My name is Mike Baker, and I am the Director of Mecum Transportation. Between the dispatcher, the transportation coordinators, and I, we're responsible for getting over 1,500 of the 4,800 vehicles to the auction. It's not just about transporting a vehicle. Our customers have their life savings in these vehicles, and they entrust us to take care of them, get them to the auction safely, and making them feel confident that they made the right choice by sending their cars to Kissimmee. It's not only about getting the cars to the auction, there's a whole lot more to it.
Vehicle check-in, the cars roll in. We have inspectors that look at the VINs. License plate installers. We have drivers that put the cars in their place. From the trailer to the block, we do everything in between. My name is Jim Guck, and I am the vehicle check-in manager for Mecum Auctions. This step is very important because then the customer knows that they're getting the vehicle that is being represented. We don't want to sell a vehicle that isn't what a seller may be representing. Our biggest hurdle at this event is the sheer amount of vehicles that we have. Close to 4,500 vehicles will pass through vehicle check-in. The late model cars are easy because the VINs are right on the dash. When you get into the cars of the 40s, 50s, we have to grind away rust, get down to the frame. Sometimes we're looking at engine numbers to get that VIN number. Even though it's a lot of work and it is a tedious process, I really pride myself on the work that I do here. As a car guy myself, I would want a car that I buy to go through this process and to have it looked at it the way that we do. And it's great to work with people that feel the same way and will get the job done that I would do.
Whether it's by collection or style, the spots for every car at Mecum Auctions are carefully picked. A lot of thought goes into how the show is curated, much like the pieces here at Road Art. My name's Tiffany Beauchesne, and I'm the Road Art Manager. So Road Art can be described as the collectibles and memorabilia that are related to the car industry. It's the additional items from a car collection, the fun parts, the gas pumps, the neons, kiddie rides.
This is really a huge family, the Mecum family.
We do feel like we're family.
I think the unique thing with the audience and Mecum Auctions is that we have so much interactivity that everybody feels part of the big extended Mecum family.
To see all the faces of the people, watching them get to experience our hard work.
It's not just a job, it's a way of life.
The reason I got into this business with Dana and Patty is because I did love the cars.
My passion for Road Art has grown exponentially.
The best part of my job is the cars.
I love cars. I've been a car guy since I was a kid.
That's the answer, isn't it? As long as there's a love and passion for cars and live events, there's just no limit to what Kissimmee can become.
I want to give a special shout out again to Harold, Mike, Tiffany, Jim Guck, everyone who agreed to help us make a wonderful piece to show the magnitude and also the passion and the family element that we have here at Mecum.
Yeah, and it was said in that piece, I think Harold ended it about there's no place like Kissimmee, Brian, and part of that is how the experience keeps getting elevated. And one of the most talked about areas here is the room now in its second year.
Can I tell you something real quick?
You can.
I've been here 10 days and I have not been into the room, so I'm excited to watch this video.
So it really speaks, Brian, about how the Kissimmee experience just keeps getting bigger and better. I mean, I've gone in there a couple times and it takes your breath away. And this year we've curated a collection of some of the best high performance Ford and Shelby products out there, and it's museum quality, and that's no joke. And that's all part of the when you come on site. That's just more things to see and do. And again, so much history, so much performance, and certainly so much value in that room.
Yeah, I know that we've had the Essex Cobra with us on the road since Monterey. It's the last time we're going to see it on display at a Mecum auction, and I'm kind of sad to see it go.
So, but
you actually do you have an interview lined up with the owner of the Cobra, the Essex Cobra, right?
I sure do. So
yeah.
Tomorrow we've got a full lineup, and just was talking with our director of social media. We're going to be getting out additional content tonight, detailing the stage schedule as we ramp up for tomorrow. So stay tuned to that. And then also
shameless plug for you. You're welcome.
Shameless plug for what's happening here. But and also for folks at home, if you go to mecum.com, go to the Kissimmee auction page. There's a row of icons, and one of them is the midway stage, and you can see the full lineup. But tomorrow afternoon, I've got an interview with the consignor of the Essex Cobra. We're going to be detailing the history of that car. There's just so much to go into. I'm excited for the next package.
Oh, are you?
Because I don't really know anything about it, other than I heard you had some shenanigans in Road Art.
Well, I love hanging out with Tiffany Beauchesne from Road Art, so she took me on a tour. Let's check it out. We're checking in with Tiffany Beauchesne in the Road Art area. She's going to show us around and see what Road Art has in store for Kissimmee.
All right, let's go. We got neons, clocks, engines, kiddie rides, pumps. We got it all.
There's over 2,000 pieces represented at Kissimmee, correct?
Yeah, we have over 1,300 lots here.
Yeah.
Multiple pieces, and some of those, we have a lot crossing the block this year. We also have the Chrysler dealership collection. Has those almost 100 clocks, which is really cool. Neon clocks, spinner clocks. It's just really cool to see them all in one spot. Here we have the RVM Classic. So this one was really cool. The garage was, you know, decorated and had all of these items displayed there. We have every intention of, you know, kind of trying to mimic that here. So that's why these pieces are in this room. I'll show you my favorites.
All right, let's go check it out.
How cool are these?
That's a slot machine. Oh, I love that.
They have
That's
you know,
novel.
4 different versions.
Yeah.
They were all displayed together at the collection.
What I love about Road Art is the variety of offerings that you guys have. So many different things, from pedal cars to neons to clocks to signs to these very eccentric slot machines. I personally like this mobster the best. I think that would go fitting in the basement at my house. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like that one too.
Now this is my kind of couch.
Right.
Yeah, so we've got are these both the back ends of Cadillacs?
Correct.
Yeah, I see you in the pink velvet.
Got it.
Yeah, functional.
Yeah, they're
with some
fun.
really cool designs.
Exactly.
And we also have a jukebox.
Yeah, the jukeboxes always are a big hit. Something for everyone, basically. It's a great entry level to get into the auction world here and get involved in our family.
Beyond that, it's a great, so say you have a relative, you have someone that is a collector of Cadillacs or Chevys or whatever, you can come here to find a piece that will complement their collection.
100%.
So it's a great way to start a collection, but it's also a great way to complement one.
Right.
Yeah.
Add-ons all the time. Yeah. Something will pop up you didn't expect to come here for, and you got to go home with it.
Once again, Tiffany, thank you for giving me a tour. I'm always excited to spend time with everyone at Road Art. Okay, while the video is playing, I got a couple questions. I had a root beer float. We have a vendor here located next to the Adventure Zone that has delicious root beer floats, and I might have had one every other day since I've been here, and I loved it. But also, again, thank you to Tiffany for kind of giving us a tour. The collections, the Road Art collections that we have here at Kissimmee are just absolutely amazing. For those that don't know, we usually on a Monday, the Monday after the first week, we have Road Art Monday. So I don't even know how many hundreds of pieces that we had roll off that day. So it was all dedicated to Road Art. So it was really cool to see. There are some great bidders and wars going on for some really great pieces. But yeah, check it out.
I like that spinning saucer, I think, for Pepsi.
I know, I'm going to miss that.
I know, I'm going to miss it too. We need to build it into our permanent set so it can't go.
I know. I don't think the new owner has picked it up yet.
Oh, okay, well, we'll look for another one.
Yeah.
But we really do have a phenomenal Road Art presentation here. I think there's a couple different areas here on site. Certainly here in the building that we're at, and then we have
the event center. Yeah,
we have an event center, and then I know also down a little bit closer to staging, there's another building that I love the presentation.
Yeah, right by the other food court.
By the other food court with the wooden slats.
Yeah.
Really, it showcases well what you can do with those pieces, and how when you start assembling a collection, they really start to pop. Just again, the neon or the antique.
I know you're a big neon fan. We still have to make one.
Yeah,
for you. Yeah. Maybe when you give me my motorcycle that you said you bought me.
That's true. Yeah,
I'll give you a neon.
Coming up.
Yeah.
I think also, speaking of coming up, let's give our viewers maybe a little tease of what's in store for Mecum in the morning in the next couple of days, because we'll be on tomorrow.
I too don't know what's in store.
Okay, well, this is news for all of us then. So we'll be back on tomorrow and Saturday as we close out Mecum in the morning. The auction will continue through Sunday, of course.
Yep.
We have a package coming up either on tomorrow or Saturday show from our time in the food court.
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Very excited.
We have all kinds of food options here, and I know we kind of did our own little, not food challenge, but just we had some fun.
Yeah, we just set out on our own and brought back whatever we thought our bellies needed.
Well, when you put it like that, it makes it not as dramatic, but stay tuned for the package. And then we also had some fun in the Adventure Zone.
We did. So much fun.
So much fun. Our producer, Alyssa, showed me that package, and I was dying just because.
Oh, she showed it to you?
She did.
That's great.
We really dialed up the silliness, but it's a lot of fun for kids, small kids, not kids at heart like us. But we do have a lot over there for them to do. So if you are looking for something,
and you did challenge me. Also, if you guys are here and you guys take a picture of the photo cutouts, tag Matt and I, because we're kind of having this who can have more fun challenge with the cardboard cutout. So let's show him what's up.
Yeah, the photo cutouts, forgot about those. But there's slot cars, there's car painting,
coloring contest,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and again, for those who don't know, Matt designed our Power Wheels track, guys.
I did.
He did. So check it out, critique him.
In the pantheon of famous tracks, there's like Road America, Laguna Seca, and then
the Avery built track. Avery Apex.
They'll be talking about it.
It's a great corner.
They'll be talking about it for certainly days to come.
Maybe minutes, but yes.
Maybe.
It will live on in infamy for minutes.
It will. Well, as we wind down, of course, wherever you're watching this, give us a like, subscribe to the Mecum YouTube channel, and of course, let us know if you have comments, questions.
Also, check out the Midway stage. Matt's going to be on there all day today.
Yep, coming up today. Stop by. There's lots of seating out there. A lot of great conversations are in store. And again, as a reminder, we will be back with Mecum in the Morning tomorrow for a brand new episode with all kinds of shenanigans as we wrap up. Yeah,
shenanigans.
I like that word.
Rootin' tootin' fun, Matt.
Rootin' tootin' fun is what we say around here on the morning show. We do have a lot of fun. And as we sign off, be sure to tune in to the live TV broadcast on Max. Again, it will never be the same without John Kraman's commentary and personality.
But we know he's watching us, Matt.
We do. And we thank you for watching today. We hope you come out to the auction, and we'll see you here tomorrow.